Hi, and welcome to A View from the Bed. This is a CJ St. Vincent podcast where we talk to real patients about their healthcare perspective. We know that your healthcare journey can be scary, so that's why we want to get their view on the good, the bad, and the ugly from diagnosis to recovery. Enjoy today's episode. Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of A View from the Bed. And we have an amazing patient story today with Patrice, who had the Inspire implant device for sleep apnea. So Patrice, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. I'm glad I could.
Yeah.
Nice
We kind of match. We were talking about that.
We called each other earlier.
We've got our pink, so we're all coordinated. So Patrice, everybody hears things about sleep apnea.
Mm-hmm.
But tell me a little bit about the very beginning of you being diagnosed with sleep apnea, way before you even had a conversation about this new Inspire device.
I probably did not even, I know that I didn't know I had it, but a friend of mine who was sleeping over, and I guess I was taking a nap or something, said, "Oh my gosh, I thought something was wrong with you. You held your breath for so long." But no one I knew really talked about sleep apnea, so I didn't think, I'm like, oh wow, that's weird. So that was probably 15 years ago. And I guess about 5 years ago or so, I caught myself during a nap. Like I would wake up and like gasping for air.
Oh, wow.
So on a casual, my 6-month visit with my primary doctor, I'm like, hey, guess what? I'm like, like in a joking way, because he and I are friends. I'm like, I was holding my breath the other day. And he was like, what? And he's like, starts doing all this typing. He was like, oh, that's not good. That's not good. I'm like, well, what do you mean? So then that was kind of my introduction into how dangerous it was and how I've probably been killing my brain cells all this time.
Yeah.
So my husband and I both we got to do the at-home sleep study.
Okay.
And sure enough, I have very bad sleep apnea. My oxygen level was going down to 72.
Oh, wow.
Which if I went to the hospital, they said that I would have been intubated, and I was holding my breath like 100 times an hour.
Oh, wow. So, that's a lot.
Yeah, for such a little person,
yes.
I snore quite a bit. So I did the CPAP, and I had to go on oxygen as well.
Okay.
Connect. And I did that for 2 years, but I have kind of a smallish face, and I probably have 30 or 40 masks, and none I never felt better, not one time from it. And my husband had seen the commercial because he's claustrophobic. He's supposed to wear one, and he broke the hose and very mature. But anyway, he's like, I want that. I'm like, what is it? And so that led us to finding Dr. O'Sullivan. And like I said, I just wasn't ever feeling better I was still waking up tired and dragging and fatigued all day. And so after meeting with her, we discussed it, and you have to get qualified. You have to do another test. She had to make sure that your tongue drops down. And I said, can you actually feel it? She said, yes, you can. I'm like, well, okay, I do. So I know I'm going to pass this test. Yeah. And then that was the beginning of it. And yes, after I got it, and the first time that I got to turn it on, it was the best night's sleep I'd had.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, before you jokingly brought it up to your primary care doctor, had you noticed that you were just sleepy throughout the day or fatigued? What did you kind of write it off as? I
was just always tired. And my mom's like, get your thyroid checked, because she had a thyroid problem. And my symptoms actually were more, a thyroid, because that's the symptoms that she had prior to medication. Sure. But it was never that. And I was just always, I don't know, I guess I'm just tired. I'm always as stressed about something, my brain won't shut down. So I just figured it was that. So.
Well, and I think sometimes, especially as women, I think we just kind of write it off as, well, maybe I just didn't sleep enough.
Right.
Or I've got, like you said, I've got a lot going on. Or, especially if you have grandkids or kids or work. And, I think sometimes as women, we're just kind of like, oh.
It's just part of it.
We don't feel good, but we don't. It's not enough to the point that we're like, oh, let me call my doctor about it.
And plus, I never have slept very good. It takes a lot for me to, everything has to be perfect. I have to have my little fan on. And so I've never slept good. So I attribute it to that as well.
Yeah.
So that made sense.
Absolutely.
But then once I got this, now I'm sleeping we were hoping for like 6 hours, but now I'm sleeping 7 and 8
Oh, wow.
hours a night. So,
Does that kind of make you wonder too that how long have you had this? That maybe you just
Exactly.
thought you
yes.
weren't a good sleeper,
Yeah.
and then actually now that you're sleeping more with this, you're like, oh, I wonder how many years.
I know. And it was, I mean, at least I know it was 15 years ago. Like I said, that my friend was like, hey, you know what? You were like holding your breath the longest time. So I'm like, I wonder how long before that I've been doing it,
No
but
kidding.
not knowing. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so funny. I mean, you reach a part of the sleep cycle that we don't know what we're doing.
Right.
And so you don't really know, am I holding my breath? Or it's so interesting that sometimes what we hear caregivers say is they don't realize someone's holding their breath until they're taking care of someone who is sleeping, like in recovery. And they noticed, hey, your pulse ox is going down, if they're in the hospital, or if they're at home, just like your friend, they're just like, oh my gosh, I didn't notice that you're holding your breath over there.
Yes. Luckily, like I said, I was at Dr. Roper, I love him. And I'm like, guess what? I was holding my breath the other day, and he
was all over it.
He was all over it. Like, he got the referral to Dr. O'Sullivan, and we just snowballed. So, yeah.
I hear a lot of individuals talk about the sleep study process, and sometimes they don't want to go see a doctor or mention symptoms because they think the sleep study is going to be a horrible process.
Right.
Or like years ago, an at-home study wasn't really possible. So you'd have to go somewhere to like a sleep lab. Tell us a little bit about what that was like to do, like what all entailed in the sleep study at home.
That was so easy. When you had to come up here and, get the machinery that that you needed to put on, and you just put something on your finger and then something around here. And probably that was your breathing, and this is probably your oxygen. And whatever magic, then you took it back up to them, and then they let you know the results of that. Now, the other 2 sleep study, I had to do a sleep study with my CPAP machine. So I had to come up here and do that. And I'm not going to say it's fun to come up here. It's not. You're not sleeping in your own bed, and they put wires everywhere.
Yes.
And I mean, but it's not that bad. It's for one night.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of doable.
Right. And then I've done another one. My husband has not got to do his extra sleep study with the Inspire because he doesn't wear it enough. I have to turn his on whenever. But anyway, so I did it with the Inspire.
Okay.
And everything is much
Now,
better.
did you have to come up here for that one? Or?
Yes. You don't get to do it at home any longer. It was just the very first one.
Yeah. So when you talked to Dr. O'Sullivan about the Inspire and you went through the testing and realized it was a good fit, tell us a little bit about the procedure. Like, what was that process like? What was the downtime?
Well, like I said, the first test you have to do, you come in and they put you under. It's kind of like a colonoscopy. You're under, not very long at all.
Okay.
They put you under just to see if your tongue,
Directs. Okay.
Right. And that cuts your air off. And as soon as that's done, then, they wake you back up. So that was, there's not much recovery to that.
Sure.
Then I got scheduled to do the surgery, and it really wasn't any big deal. I think for 6 weeks, don't lift anything heavier.
Super heavy.
So mine kind of shows up. I'm quite small. You cannot see my husband's at all. But it's a pacemaker, and then they put the wires that go around your tongue muscle, and then they went through here as well.
Okay.
And this is a little sore, but I'm thin, not sore. It was a little bit sore then, but I'm thin. So mine kind of hits my shoulder bone, but that's just, and they offered, the Inspire people and Dr. O'Sullivan, they offered to put it underneath my muscle.
Okay.
It wouldn't show as much, but I'm like, I'm 62. I don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't really care if people see this pacemaker, whenever you're on the boat or something. So the healing process was not really, it's like I said, a month, 6 weeks of not lifting anything heavier than 10 pounds.
Okay.
It was really no big deal.
Yeah, that's not terrible
easy.
at all.
No, it was easy. Very easy.
So how do you operate it?
Then I think you have to heal for 6 months.
Okay.
And just to get everything, because they went in here. And
before you can use it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And after that, then you come back in and the Inspire people come and then they adjust it. And they can do different adjustments. They can make it high and low. You can do it's a little remote and you can turn it on.
Okay.
And mine used to be 15, you had 15 minutes to go to sleep. But because I don't sleep still that great, fall asleep that easily. So they changed mine to 30 minutes. So I have 30 minutes.
Okay.
And it'll do a little, drinking water or anything like that, because it does kind of like just do a little pulse. It does not hurt. But when your tongue starts falling back, then it'll just give it a little nudge to go
bring it back up.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that it does not. It does wake me up during the night on occasion.
Gotcha.
But all you do is hit that pause button again.
Okay.
And it'll do it for 30 minutes. And they set it to where, like, if you want it to be for 6 hours or 7 hours, which now mine can really be changed to be on for 7 hours.
Okay.
But the Inspire people. And then I have a nurse that calls me every 3 months to see how I'm doing. And if we need to adjust, the vibration to be stronger or lower or, more often or.
Okay. Did they talk to you? I mean, that doesn't sound bad at all.
No.
Did
so
they
easy.
talk
and
to you
traveling.
about? Okay, that's actually you read my mind because, and you hear they always ask you like with TSA or even if you're going to get imaging like an MRI or things, they're like, do you have a pacemaker? And since this is like a little pacemaker, how does that impact that?
Well, we have not had any. We carry a card that says, that we have the Inspire and all that, but we have not been stopped and no one has asked anything. But it just makes it so easy now between having the CPAP machine, trying to travel with that, and this. You just take a little remote. And honestly, Rob, the Inspire guy that hooked mine and my husband's up, whenever they were hooking mine up, I believe my husband was with me. And Rob walked up to my husband. He goes, I wonder if this remote will work on you. And he did it. And sure enough, it turned on my husband's. So so we have to be careful at nighttime whenever he's already gone to sleep and I take his remote, I have to put a pillow or something over mine.
Yours.
If I don't want to go to bed yet and turn his on because it'll turn mine on. Like, dang it. I didn't mean for mine to be turned on. Says we him.
That's not something you would naturally think to ask.
Right.
Is it a universal remote?
Well, Rob, he didn't know. He goes, now we know.
Now we know.
I can go around turning everybody's on.
You could. If they have an Inspire, it's a new party game.
Exactly.
Just take your remote to a party, push it, and see whose throat kind of constricts.
Because it does kind of grab you a little bit when you turn it on. I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's just kind of no, it's not shocking. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's hard to describe. It's just like a pulse. So.
Well, and I'm sure too that once you've had it for a little bit, that sensation, you've sat with it for a little bit, right? So it's not as jolting,
right?
Or concerning, because at first sometimes you can feel concerned with new things or new sensations with our bodies, especially when you're sleeping.
Yes.
So I'm sure that goes away or the comfort level builds.
It does. You just get used to it. Once in a while, like I said, when my husband's been in a deep sleep and I turn his on, it will kind of wake him up and jolt him, but he doesn't wear his enough like he's supposed to.
Yes.
But I'm used to it. And like I said, during the night when it does kind of wake me up for whatever reason, I just hit the pause and, go on or get up and go to the restroom, come back and let it and then it just comes back on by itself. So
that's nice.
And it makes it, like I said, traveling. It's just like this little remote. Put it in your bag and go.
Yeah, so. Which is so much easier, than do I carry my CPAP as a carry-on in case my luggage gets delayed or it's all those nuances and you don't realize how much stuff comes with those CPAPs that you lug around. And then you have the face strap.
Right. And the oxygen. I would have to take a little tank. And so, but it's wonderful. I tell everyone that ask about it, like, do it. You're never too old to do it. Just do it. And the surgery's a breeze. It's worth every penny. And the little bit of pain that it was, when you first get, it's no big deal.
That little bit of soreness. And it's completely outpatient. And too, the really cool thing about the Inspire is, and like you said, more awareness is coming out about it. And I will say the pharmaceutical company has done a fantastic job at really marketing it, because sometimes we only think of sleep apnea as the normal things that you hear people talk about, right? Like you're overweight,
Right.
You're an older male, you're just a heavy snorer.
Right.
But they really don't talk a lot about, I mean, you're a very petite
I know.
female and you were holding your breath.
Yes.
And so it's one of those things that is, the symptoms can be very different, and it comes in all, body shapes, sizes, ages, to really gauge. So
yeah, and that's what they're like, you have sleep apnea, you're so tiny. But no, I snore like a freight train, I do, and hold my breath. And a friend of mine, he was very overweight and he wanted to get it, but he couldn't because he was, but that gave him motivation to, because I brag on it. He had so much trouble wearing his CPAP. It just, drove him crazy. So he really wanted it. So it's given him motivation to, lose weight. And
yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that you actually have to fit within a certain BMI weight category, body fat composition category, to be a candidate for the Inspire. And so that's not a lot of common knowledge.
Right.
So that's just a really great point out there of, but you go back to the basics, and we talk about it all the time on this podcast, is your doctors cannot help you if you don't bring something up.
That is very true.
Even if you just joke about it.
Yeah.
And
I was just telling him something funny. Yeah. And whenever he got all serious and started typing right away, I'm like, what's going on?
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's just one of those
like saving your life, really, because, I mean, it can be death if you don't, address it.
It can. And, when they found out what your levels were getting to, I mean, those are scary levels. And, you're talking about the oxygen richness of your blood that operates every single organ in your body.
Yeah.
You consistently don't get enough of that, and things will start to shut down.
Right. They said I was turning blue.
I believe it.
So I had no idea. My husband didn't know, nobody knew. So just like you said, you have to talk about it. So.
You just have to talk about it. Even if you're joking, you just have to talk about it. Or, just tell one of your friends, hey, stare at me while I sleep.
Exactly.
If you're not a snorer, because I even have friends that they'll be like, oh, I don't snore. And I'm like, okay, but that doesn't mean that you don't have something going on.
Yeah, or you're not holding your breath. You could be holding your breath, just, no one knows. So look out for your people and your friends.
That's right. Like next time you're on a girls trip,
just,
let a couple of them fall asleep before you that always seem fatigued, and, take a little cell phone video and be like, here's what you were doing.
It was a miracle.
Once you had the Inspire and you went through the waiting period of healing, how quickly was it that you started noticing a difference when you started to use it?
The very first night, the next morning when I got up, I was just amazed. Oh, that's where I was. I was totally amazed, like how good I felt. And then probably about 6 months into it, I started noticing that I wasn't feeling quite as chipper as I was in the beginning. So talking to nurse 6, every 3 months we talked to her. I told her that. And so the Inspire people, I met them at Dr. O'Sullivan's office, and they adjusted it. Now, can I tell you exactly what they did? But they changed something on it. And so now I'm back to feeling very good again. So, and my husband, when he first got it, it was just too strong for him. And so he came back in and they readjusted him, and it calmed it down to where it wasn't quite so high.
Yeah.
I mean, you can adjust it on the remote, but they can also do something computer-wise.
Okay.
I don't know how.
Yes.
But to make it better for you. So
yeah. No, and that's a great point, because this isn't something that you just get done once and you forget about it.
Right. No.
There are going to be times that you're going to have to adjust, readjust. But again, maintain that relationship with your physician.
Right.
And let them know that, hey, something doesn't quite feel the same or feel quite right.
Right.
So how's it changed your life? I mean, you've alluded to it a little bit, but...
I'm much happier.
Hey, that's like huge box check number 1, right?
Yes. Like I said, I would recommend this to anyone. And I told Dr. Roper and all his crew whenever, I went to see him after it all got, hooked up and was working. And he said that he was going to pass the word to all his patients that, I'm like, I said, you can tell everyone that I said so. That, I mean, it was worth every moment of uncertainty. And because I at first was like, do I want to put, that in my body?
Sure.
So my husband did kind of jump ahead of me in the line of it, because I started and then somehow he got his Inspire first. But I kind of hesitated. And then I was like, you know what, if it's, I watched him go through it and it was nothing. It was a breeze.
Sure.
And so then I was like, you know what, I'll do it. And I'm so happy I did. It was kind of like life-changing. So I feel so much better.
No, that's amazing too. And which is, again, one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on the podcast, is because we want individuals to, one, feel comfortable with it. And what better way, because we do this with everything, right? With trips we take for vacation, with hotels, with restaurants, is we ask our friends.
Right.
Hey, have you done this? Have you been there? And so our listeners, it's just like talking to a friend to say, oh, well, I go through that. Or, hey, if she can do it, that doesn't sound so scary.
Right.
Let me learn more.
It's nothing. It's the surgery is, you don't even know. I mean, honestly, when you wake up, you're not like, it's nothing. You're not in a bunch of pain. They give you pain medicine, but I didn't even have to take any.
Just like a mild discomfort. Yeah.
It really is. So.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I have to say, you heard it here. I mean, it's life-changing.
It is.
And
it's saving my life.
Yes. No. And we're just so glad to just have heard your experience and to learn about what it's done for you.
Yes.
Which is exactly what the device is meant to do. And so, guys, we always say this on the podcast, but if something does not feel right or you don't feel right, talk to your primary care provider first and just let them know what's going on. Here's my symptoms. Hey, I feel a little extra fatigued. That way they can do the workup. They can eliminate anything from blood work and see if you're having some sleep apnea. And then ultimately see if the Inspire works for you, and insurance covers it. And so, it's a good tool that is now in the healthcare arsenal to help you have a more quality of life. So,
and Dr. O'Sullivan is so refreshing, and she's so kind and calm and reassuring. And so
she's great.
Awesome. I love her.
Dr. O'Sullivan is fantastic.
She's awesome.
So if you have quandaries, talk to Dr. O'Sullivan.
Yes.
About the Inspire.
Yes.
Well, Patrice, thank you. Patrice, thank you so much for being on here today.
Absolutely.
It was just your absolute joy. So wonderful. We're so glad. I mean, you look great. You look vibrant and glowy, and which is exactly what we want to see when new devices like this come out. So thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely. I'm happy to have been here, and I hope this encourages anybody to go and proceed with this if they have any questioning about it. So do it.
Do it. Well, you know what you should also do? You should tune in next month, because who knows who we're talking to?
Oh.
I mean, we talk to all kinds of folks, and y'all know this. So we'll have another treat coming to you next month with an important health topic that you don't want to miss, so you can make informed decisions about your health. So until next time, guys, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's episode of A View from the Bed, A Patient's Perspective. We hope that you found it helpful. We hope that it helped you make your healthcare decisions. We hope that it made you feel a little more comfortable with your own journey. And we hope that you'll join us next time.